Good morning, Year 6, and welcome to Friday's English. Now, have you ever heard any of these expressions? On the ball, under the weather, get your skates on. Has your parents, grandparents, aunties, uncles ever said to you, get your skates on? Or you might have said, or someone might have said, feeling a bit under the weather today. Or Mrs. Cara might have said, wow, you're on the ball today with your maths. Now, these are English expressions. It's phrases that people use when they're talking, but you have to learn what their meaning is. If somebody's under the weather, they're feeling a bit poorly. It's actually nothing to do with rain, clouds or sun. The literal meaning would be you'd be underneath some bad weather, but in fact the meaning that we take it to be when we're talking is you're feeling a bit poorly. If someone tells you to get your skates on, they don't literally mean you to go and put a pair of roller skates on. They're basically saying hurry up. And if we might say to you, you're on the ball with your work today, there is literally no football there or netball there. We are actually saying to you, you're very well focused. Now, these strange expressions that we use when we talk are called idioms. And we're going to have a look at a few more common idioms that you might have heard people using. So let's continue our look at idioms. I've heard a lot of people use this idiom. They might say, you're pulling my leg. Literally, that means that somebody is pulling your leg. But when we use it in our language, we mean that somebody's having a joke with you. So let's define an idiom. It's a common word or phrase. You may actually hear it more from older people, but it's a phrase that actually means something very different from its literal meaning. But when it's used a lot, we understand its meaning. We get to understand it. So here, pulling my leg is the idiom. Let's have a look at a couple more that you might have heard of. Have you ever heard anybody say we need to break the ice, or you're barking up the wrong tree? Well, breaking the ice, that actually means making people comfortable by talking to them. You might be a lot of children standing in a classroom and nobody's talking to each other, so the teacher might say, let's have an icebreaker, let's do something to get everybody chatting. There is literally no ice broken at all. If somebody says you're barking up the wrong tree, the literal meaning would be you can imagine a dog barking up the tree, but the common meaning of that expression means you're mistaken. You're mistaken. Right. I've found 3 idioms here that are linked to doors. Stop the tape, read them through and see if you could jot down what you think this expression means when used in everyday English. As one door closes, another opens. Behind closed doors and a foot in the door. Have a go at trying to work out what these mean. You might want to go and ask an older person for some help. So, as one door closes, another opens means there are plenty of opportunities. If something hasn't succeeded, there will be an opportunity for you to succeed elsewhere. If something's done behind closed doors, it's simply done in secret. And if you have a foot in the door, it means you're on your way, perhaps, to achieving a goal. Sometimes it can be difficult to understand idioms, but as you get older and you hear them more in everyday language, you will begin to understand what people mean by them. So, today we're going to look at poetry presentation. A lot of poets aren't just writers, they are presenters and actors as well. And they like to draw in an audience by thinking carefully how they present their poetry. Now, I would like to share a poem with you today entitled The Door. You can listen to me reading it, or if you like, you can follow this link and you can watch an actor performing the poem. And the actor's Joseph Fiennes, who's quite a well-known actor. And you can see how he adds a little bit of drama to interest the audience. So, I would like to share with you The Door by Miroslav Holub. Go and open the door. Maybe outside there's a tree or a wood, a garden or a magic city. Go and open the door. Maybe a dog's rummaging. Maybe you'll see a face or an eye or the picture of a picture. Go and open the door. If there's fog, it will clear. Go and open the door. Even if there's only the darkness ticking, even if there's only the hollow wind, even if nothing is there, go and open the door. At least there'll be a draft. Have a little read through of the poem yourself. Stop the tape while you're doing it. Now I'd like you to make some notes on the poem, just four thoughts. First of all, what did you like about the poem? What was your favourite line and why? How did the poem make you feel? Why do you think the poet keeps telling you to open the door? Why do you think he repeats that line? Go and open the door. Go and open the door. Are there any parts of the poem that leave you with unanswered questions? What would you like to ask the poet? Stop the tape while you make some notes on the poem. Now over to you, poetry presentation. For your work today, I would like you to imagine you are presenting a poem. You can choose to present The Door by Miroslav Holub, or you could choose to present one of the poems that you've written over the last couple of weeks in English. Now what I want you to think about is the speed. Are there lines that need to be spoken slowly and some that maybe need to be spoken more quickly? The volume, change your volume right from loud down to very quiet. Your intonation means the emphasis that you put on certain words, maybe the more important words. Can you add a bit of drama? Could you even dress up maybe? And clarity is the clearness with which you pronounce your words. Obviously, if you mumble words, it will be difficult for your audience to understand them. So what I would like you to do is to practice reading and performing a poem. You're going to have to imagine you've got an audience. You might have to recruit an adult at home, brother, sister, furry friend, and imagine you are on a stage. We would love to see a video of your performance.